Hey guys, Jeffries here, and welcome back to Cities in Motion 2. As you can see from this viewpoint, I've literally just loaded up the game again. It's been about 3 weeks, I think, since I last played this, so you'll have to give me a minute or two whilst I get back up to speed. What I do remember is the last episode, I think we were fiddling around with vehicles, updating vehicles, and we also did a little something to the monorail network to make that a little more efficient. There we go, we added platforms 1, 2, 3 and 4. We're also fairly profitable now, we're making a good old bit of money. I'm going to increase the number of ticket inspectors, you see how much that rises by. Although that number doesn't change, the fact that we're catching more people who aren't paying should in the long run get us more money, because then they'll start paying. This big green area here is going to become green very, very shortly for a totally different reason, as this is going to be our metro hub. First of all though, we need to... let me think about this. We need to put a road or a street of some kind. Let's do an actual road. What kind of road? Well, that's a one-way, that's a two-way there. And that's a two-way there, so it would make sense if we did the same thing across the middle here. So let's do that. That might actually help with traffic running through this area of the city as well. So I think about there, and then we'll lower it down again. In fact, where's halfway? Halfway is about... actually, if I do this whole thing across, it's 159 meters, so half of that is 79 roughly, so there is halfway. We'll round it up to 80, that'll work. There we go. Has that worked how I wanted it to? Probably not quite, but hey ho. What this is going to be there is a divide. And the reason it's going to be a divide is because we're going to have metro lines running underneath there, and then they're going to disappear off under this part of the city here, and then all of this area is going to be platforms and stations and things like that. So hopefully if I do like a test line, we'll just check this out quickly. We'll do 4 tracks. So it should go underneath, something like that. You see we've got just about enough room. If I run this, see if I can get it between those pillars, like that. Like so. So you've got just enough room for the trains to get underneath. That is our test track, and that's also going to become part of our actual track. I need to shorten it a little bit, I think, although I might have lines coming off underneath, like that. I'll have to lengthen this bit first, but yeah, that's what's going to happen there. Basically guys, it's time for metro. So I'm going to have to take out another loan, I think. Looking at how much money we're making, I can go into the bank and I can take out a massive loan. So let's put it as... let's do it as 300,000. I know this is a massive commitment, and it's going to cost an absolute fortune to pay off, but once the metro is up and running, it virtually pays for itself. We need to get this amount back down, so let's do that to 100. You can see weekly payments of 53,000. I think that's a little too much at this moment. So maybe we'll run time on a little bit faster, let the money build up, and go from there. Need to find a couple more ways to make some more money. Maybe a couple of other bus routes would be a good idea. You see there's areas of the city like here and over here that are untapped by our transport network thus far. So I think maybe another bus network would help. Maybe a big loop one that sort of goes around the whole of the... what's this? The eastern part of this island. That could be a good idea. So let's get on with that, shall we? Let's build ourselves some bus stops. Slow time down a little bit so that it doesn't go too fast for us. So the first stop is there, obviously. So I think the second stop, we could have one here, linking up with the trams. And then we could have another one in this section here. Now we want to avoid this road, and you can see why with the amount of traffic that has built up. There's a lot of traffic on that main road, so we're looking to avoid that road as much as possible. So we'll go underneath it, under this little underpass bit here. We could have a next stop there, and then we could have another one on this road here, perhaps. That looks like a pretty good option. And then we could have another one in this bit here, or maybe underneath. Hang on, let me move the camera around a little bit. I think there, on that piece of road there, is a pretty good place for it. And then we could have another one. There's a little underpass here, so we'll have one there. So the buses will come under here, and again it helps avoid a main road. Now we can't avoid a main road in this case, but it's a very quiet one, so we'll let that one off. But we want to service this part of the city as well, so we'll have another bus stop there. And we'll have one, I think, there, leaving this section of the city. And then we'll have another one. So we're on bus lanes now, so we can actually have one there. Now I think we need to head back towards the centre a little bit, so we could have one there. Just got to remember which ones haven't already been assigned, because we don't want to mix them up. Although we could have a link with the trolley line, so we could have a stop here. I think, yeah, that's not a bad place for it. And then we could have a bus stop on this main road here. And then we can go up into this little estate here, so we could have one there. Then we could have another one there. And then we've got a good chance to interchange with the monorail, or we can just about avoid it. I think just about avoiding it is probably the best option, because the monorail will take all of our bus passengers away if we do that. So I think we'll put one there, so it sort of overlaps, but not quite. And then from there we could have like a bus stop. Let me see, one on this road here. So again, there's a little bit of an overlap with the monorail, but not too much of one. Then we can go up here. In fact, actually, before we do that one, in fact, we will keep that one, but we'll put one here as well, I think. Maybe there. So again, there's a slight overlap with the monorail, but it means the bus serves more stops than before. Now I suppose we kind of want to run it back towards the hub. So I think at this point another interchange with the tram wouldn't be a bad idea. So in fact, another one with the trolley as well. So it'll come up here through this estate. Do we want a road going across there, or no? We can trust it to come through this section. We've actually run out of money at the moment, which is a problem, so we'll speed up time again, get some money back. Then we want our next stop to be here. And then we want another stop here to sort of link up with the trolley. And then we'll have a final stop. In fact, that could be its final stop there, before it returns to the hub. Okay. So, before we... Oh, crikey, a lot of trams running here. Before we set the route and get the buses, let's just look up what we can call this line. Okay, I've just looked up colour charts, shades of blue. I think I've got one. Okay, so we'll go into this, routes, new route, and we'll name this the Azure line. There we go. Right, now we want it to have the same timetable as the Cobalt line. We're going to need to buy a lot more buses after this, because it's a long route. It's going to take a long time for buses to come to and from the depot, and ideally we don't want to run out of buses. So we're going to have to end up with a whole new fleet of buses. Now I'm going to have to try and remember where all these stops are. So what was it? We had the one there, and then we had the one there. If I look at it top down, I should be able to see them. One there, and there, and there, and there, and there. And then we crossed over, didn't we? So we had one here, and one here, one here, and here. And then we went all the way across to here, where we linked up with the trolley for the first time. And then we went up here, and then here, and here. And then there was that one there, and then there was let me see, was it that one, and then that one, and then that one, and then there was this one here, that one there, and then that stop there. And then we went back into the MCH, like so. Does that look right? Why has it done that? I don't know. Why has it done that? How strange. It's done it there as well, actually. We were. But yeah, from there it then runs back to the hub, like so. Let's see if we have any buses running on it yet. Not yet. I'd like to follow one round if possible, so we'll wait for a bus to come out onto this line. We're slowly working towards our target as well of having 35% coverage, so very soon we'll actually complete this city and we'll have to move to another one, which I'm kind of looking forward to, because I feel like, okay, we haven't built metros in this city yet, but coverage wise, especially this island, we're doing very, very well. This island not so much, but we've filled this area here, and we filled this area here, and metro would normally cover this part of the city, and I was going to have a loop around this section of the city, which I was actually planning on doing in this episode, but for a few episodes now I've been putting off metros because I don't want to bankrupt the company, because there's so much hard work gone into what's been built so far. I don't really want to spoil it by ballsing up the metro. The other plan as well, once the metro station is built here, the reason I've got this section here is to have a bus stop, one on each side, or maybe just one on this side, or actually one on that side, and then have like a loop line that takes you from the monorail to the metro and vice versa, and also for the buses and the trams and the trolley lines. That's why it's like that. When's the next bus coming out on the Azure line? We could do with a bus. It doesn't look like we'll be in trouble or in any danger of running out of buses at weekends. Seems to be plenty. There's 18 in the depot at the moment. There's none on the Azure line. There'll be very limited amounts on the other two lines. So it definitely looks like we're okay in that sense. Just got to wait now and hope that it hurries up. Speed, there we go. There's one come out. There's one, and there we go, bus 22. So we'll follow bus 22 around. We'll speed up time a little bit. Let's have a look at this, keep its profit window open. Stick it up in the top corner there. And let's follow this bus around and see how full it gets. Because if it gets too full, then we might have to consider upgrading our buses again to higher capacity. But for now, maybe it's not that much of a problem. Although having a look at this stop, there's a lot of people waiting. There's only 3 waiting for the Azure line. It's the Violet line that's popular. And luckily we've already upgraded our buses there for, was it 35 capacity? So that's 70 in total, if you really expand it. So this bus has picked up its 3 passengers. So let's speed up time and see where it goes. See, it was almost racing with that other bus for a minute before it had to turn off. So there you go, we've got 4 from this stop, so we're up to 7 already, and we're almost making a profit on this line. It's a worthy investment if you make a profit straight away, and buses, short line buses, This one isn't so much a shoreline, but the other two bus lines that we have got, they're pretty profitable. If I show you the... oops, wrong panel. There you go. 7,000 we're making from tickets, 4,000 profit. So you've got things like energy and drivers, which are costing you a little bit of money, but then they do with all forms of transport. It's only really the trolleys and the monorail. The monorail especially, we're only losing about, what, 1,600, 1,500 in fees for energy, maintenance and drivers. Everything else is coming straight from tickets, straight into pure profit. So that's why our number is so high. If it wasn't for our monorail line, we'd actually be operating at a loss right now. So I'm very thankful that I put the monorail in where I did and when I did. It definitely seems like a worthy investment. In fact, where is the monorail? Is it further? Yeah, it's further north. In fact, I think we just gone underneath it, which is not too bad. This line has just about turned a profit. It's making a profit of 1 at the moment. But once we'll build a couple more short loops maybe, and see if we can make more of a profit that way as well. Because then once we start making money this way, we can afford to gamble on the metro, which is what I really wanted to build on this map. In fact, whilst I'm talking about metros, I'm considering doing a sandbox on this same city. So sort of putting career mode on ice for a bit, doing sandbox mode, and seeing if I can build up that way. So I'll still have the money going. I just won't move on, as it were. So once I've completed this objective, I move on to the next city. I don't really have a choice to stay with this one. Whereas if I do sandbox, I can carry on this city until I've built it up as much as I like. So putting it out there to you guys, what do you like me to do? I'm leaning towards that option, but if you guys want me to carry on doing the campaign as I am, then I've got no problems with that, and I will carry on doing that. If you guys want me to start a new sandbox mode on this same map, then let me know in the comments section below, and I'll start doing that instead. I will come back to the campaign at some point, but it just gives me a chance to really show what I can do on this game, because I feel the campaign does limit your building abilities slightly, because once you've got a network that you're pretty happy with, you then have to move on to a new city and start all over again, which I find quite frustrating really, because you don't really get to build up the network as much as you'd like to. So yeah, I'll leave it to you guys to decide what I do with that one. In the meantime, the Azure line, we're very much in profit now. We're 50, let's call them pounds still, £50 in profit. We're only spending 59 on this line so far. We're making 105, 106. We've got passengers waiting at each stop. In fact, this bus is now at capacity, so until it drops passengers off, we won't be able to pick up any more. There's the connections with the trolley line and the slight connection with the monorail coming up as well. See this stop up ahead? There's 29 people waiting, so it's a very popular stop. This is the only form of transport that serves this part of the city, so I can see why it's so popular. We only managed to pick up 3 or 4 people at that stop. So I think we might have to get some more buses running on this line, or some higher capacity buses. Maybe the latter. Get some higher capacity going on. In fact, we might be dropping a few of these passengers off in a second, because we're coming up to the trolley connection, and I think that's where most of these people will want to get off. We'll see here. Yep, there you go. They all got off because they want to get on the trolley and go to the central hub. Okay, so that connection idea worked. That's the reason why I do it. It's so that if you have high capacity like we do, or at least high demand and not enough capacity, it gives you the option to drop off some passengers sort of halfway around the route, and gives room for the passengers to get on in the other half of the route, so that you're not running at full capacity the whole time, because you don't make any money then. You're just running almost like running an empty bus, because no one's getting on or off, so you're not getting any money from more tickets, and yet the bus still has to run, so you don't make any profit from that at all. So it gives the people an opportunity to get to where they want to go a bit quicker, and it gives you the opportunity to make more money from it. This stop seems very, very popular. About 20 people got on our bus there. That's brilliant. It's a shame that we have to leave people behind, but it's fantastic that we're so popular. Definitely going to have to look at higher capacity buses, especially for this line. Maybe get some double deckers and put them for this line only. without having to build a new depot, we should be able to do that. Or we might just put some double deckers in the depot and hope that they get assigned to this line. One or the other. It's a bit of a risk, I suppose, but if it's worth taking, then go for it. All of our passengers got off there. I wonder if they're trying to get on the monorail. They'll probably walk to this one because it looks closer. So in that case, we got a connection there, so that's fair enough. Kind of wanted that. That's why the stop was where it was. And you see we've got 18 people waiting at this stop, so we're not losing all of our passengers. We should jump up to capacity again. In fact, there you go, 16 people on board. So the buses aren't really running empty, even if they start off only a little bit full, and you get a little bit of dead time like that. It gives you room to pick up lots more passengers. You see you've got 11 people waiting at this stop as well. They will probably transfer over to either the trolley or the tram. One or the other. Most likely the trolley, since they can just wait at the same stop. Although they could get on the tram. I don't know. We'll find out in a second. Once we get to the stop. So we've just got zigzagging, weaving through the streets. I think I've put these stops in some pretty good places. Gives an interesting bus route as well. We're not travelling in straight lines the whole time. I kind of like that. I think that looks better. It's more aesthetically pleasing. Coming up to our connection with the tram. So we'll see what our passengers will do at this next stop. In fact, have we got a connection with... No, I don't think we do have a connection with the tram there. No, I think I lied. Sorry about that. Yeah, the trams run in one direction, we run in the other. And then there's this big building here, which is an office building. And that's where our stop is. You see, lots of people get on, hardly anybody got off. Nobody's going to work at coming up to 10 o'clock on a Sunday night. I think that one's fairly obvious, really. I believe... do we turn right at this junction, or is it the next one? I think it's the next one. Yeah, the next one. You can see the stop. 2 people waiting. Not as popular, this one. We'll see how many people get off. Nearly everybody gets off. So maybe they're connecting with the tram. Or perhaps the trolley. I think there's a trolley stop just up the street. In fact, there's a trolley stop on the next street along. There we go. We could end up losing all of our passengers at the next stop, because that's the one that you can transfer between the tram and the trolley. So yeah, I think we'll lose all of our passengers and we'll run empty back to the MCH, which I suppose it's a bit of a shame if that happens, but then we've made such a profit running the rest of the route that it's understandable really that eventually you'll end up with buses running empty. Although actually saying that, is that 8 people we've got? Yeah, we've got 8 people on board still, going back to the hub, so maybe it is a quick way of bringing people in as well. It's a bit stop-start with all the traffic lights, but you know, that's basically what a bus route is. There's nothing I can do about that, apart from get rid of all the traffic lights, but then that will cause mayhem elsewhere. And there we go, drop all the passengers off, and then back to the depot. So that is the Azure line, guys. You see, just that one run, other buses have gone out as well, I'm sure, but in that time, we're now making £500 profit. And that number is, of course, going to rise as we go on. So I go back into the business panel. You see we're still operating at 10,000. Speed that up a little bit. Increase the ticket count a little bit more. In fact, that made next to no difference whatsoever. No difference. But yeah, I think that brings this episode to an end, guys. In the next episode, I will seriously look at building a metro. I want to plan it out carefully, because I don't want to take out a massive loan and then balls it up. That is the last thing I want to do. It'll be a massive waste of money, it'll be a waste of time, and it could jeopardize the whole company. So I'm going to take a really long, careful look at what I want to do, and then I'll come back to you guys with what I decide. So until then, guys, thank you very much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, be sure to click the subscribe button. If you have subscribed to my channel, thank you guys for your continued support. And until next time, I will see you soon.